Welcome, brave souls, to our spine-tingling tale of The Cursed Dollhouse, a miniature nightmare. As the sun sets and darkness creeps over the land, we invite you to join us on a chilling journey that will keep you on the edge of your seat. We're about to delve into a world where the line between reality and imagination blurs, where the ordinary becomes the extraordinary, and where things are never quite what they seem. So grab your torch and put on your bravest face, because we're about to step into the unknown. We're about to enter the haunted world of the Miller family, a world where an innocent inheritance turns into a terrifying ordeal, a world where the past refuses to stay buried, a world where a dollhouse is more than just a toy. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Welcome to The Cursed Dollhouse, a miniature nightmare. Let's hope you make it out alive. Picture this. A quaint old Victorian house stands alone in the midst of a forgotten countryside, a house that's just been inherited by the unsuspecting Miller family. As they approach the house, the Millers are struck by its eerie charm, the way it looms against the foreboding skyline, the way the wind whispers through its ancient timbers. They're a family of four, each with a sense of intrigue and a dash of apprehension etched on their faces. The father, a pragmatic man, doesn't believe in the supernatural. The mother, a dreamer, is drawn to the romantic notion of living in a house steeped in history. The two children, a curious pair, are excited about the new adventure, their imaginations running wild. As they step inside, the house greets them with a cold shiver, as if it's been waiting for them. They explore its cavernous rooms, each one filled with remnants of a bygone era. It's like stepping into a time capsule, a snapshot of a life lived long ago. Their exploration leads them to the attic, a dusty, dimly lit space filled with forgotten treasures. Amongst the relics of the past, they discover an ancient, beautifully crafted dollhouse. It's a perfect miniature replica of the very house they now call home, right down to the smallest detail. It's an unsettling discovery, but they're captivated by its intricate beauty. As they pore over the dollhouse, they notice the tiny figures inside, each one mirroring their own appearance. It's a strange coincidence, but they shrug it off, attributing it to the previous owner's eccentricity. As the sun sets, they descend from the attic, leaving the dollhouse and its miniature inhabitants behind. They settle in for their first night, their minds filled with dreams of the life they'll build in their new home. But as they drift off to sleep, the house creaks and groans as if coming alive. The wind howls through the eaves, and somewhere in the darkness of the attic, the dollhouse waits. As night falls, the family settles in, oblivious to the fact that they're not alone, that they've inherited more than just a house. The first night in the old house, the Millers find their sleep plagued by strange noises. The peculiar sounds echo through the darkened hallways, a symphony of creaks and groans that seem to breathe life into the ancient structure. The family tries to dismiss these auditory anomalies as the typical murmurs of an old house, the sighs of aged wood and the whispers of decades past. But as the moon climbs higher in the star-studded sky, a sense of unease begins to creep into the corners of their minds. The noises persist, growing louder, more insistent. They resonate in the quiet of the night, a dissonant lullaby that laces dreams with threads of unease. The sounds seem to originate from everywhere and nowhere all at once, a chilling orchestra conducted by an unseen maestro. In the heart of the house, the dollhouse sits, a silent sentinel in the gloaming. The miniature figures within its walls are a tableau of stillness, frozen in their domestic scenes. Yet, as the family tosses and turns in their beds, something strange begins to unfold. Without a single eye to witness, the figures in the dollhouse begin to move. They shift and stir, their tiny forms mimicking the restless movements of the family above. The father figure paces the miniature parlor, mirroring Mr. Miller's midnight wanderings. The mother figure sits at the tiny kitchen table, a small hand to her forehead, just as Mrs. Miller does in the real world. Morning light spills through the windows, casting long shadows across the floor. The family awakens, the memory of the nocturnal disturbances still fresh in their minds. Their eyes turn to the dollhouse, only to find a chilling sight. The figures within have moved, their positions eerily mirroring the Millers' own movements from the previous day. The family is left in a state of puzzled disbelief. The noises, the restless night, and now this uncanny mimicry, it's enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. By morning, the family is left puzzled, the miniature figures eerily mirroring their own movements from the previous day. As days turn into nights, the Millers can't shake off an unsettling feeling. The dollhouse seems to be reenacting their daily lives, but with a horrifying twist. It starts subtly. The miniature figures, once stationary in their idyllic tableau, begin to move. Not just any movement, but a mirrored reflection of the Millers' own daily routine. There's an uncanny resemblance, a chilling echo that sends shivers down their spines. But the real horror unfolds when the sun dips below the horizon. Under the cloak of darkness, the dollhouse transforms into a stage for the grotesque. The dolls, like puppeteered marionettes, reenact scenes of torment and terror. A child's toy becomes an instrument of horror, depicting accidents too cruel to imagine. Imagine a tiny figure tripping over a non-existent wire, its body contorting in a manner no regular doll should. Another scene portrays a figure being pinned down by a fallen bookshelf, its limbs splayed in an unnatural angle. Each scene, a gruesome spectacle, a nightmarish tableau of the family's worst fears. The Millers, caught in this macabre spectacle, are frozen in terror. They try to ignore it, to dismiss it as a product of their overactive imaginations. But the dollhouse's gruesome reenactments are too vivid, too real to be ignored. In their desperation, the Millers attempt to rid themselves of the cursed artifact. They try to throw it away, to burn it, even to bury it. But each attempt is thwarted, the dollhouse reappearing in its usual spot as if defiantly proclaiming its permanence. Desperate for answers, they dig into the house's history and uncover a dark secret. The Millers, plagued by the inexplicable movements of the dollhouse figures and the nightmarish scenes they reenact, delve deep into the archives of the town library. It's there they stumble upon the tragic tale of the house's previous occupants. The former inhabitants, the Carvers, were a seemingly ordinary family, much like the Millers. But beneath the normalcy lurked an undercurrent of darkness. The Carvers met a gruesome end, their lives snuffed out in a series of tragic events that mirrored the scenes the dollhouse relentlessly performed. The mystery deepens as they learn about the Carvers' housemaid, a woman scorned who practiced the dark arts. Enraged by an unrequited love, she cast a curse on the dollhouse, a grim reflection of the Carvers' lives. The curse was designed to bind the spirits of the family to the miniature figures, forcing them to relive their horrific ends over and over again. The dollhouse, it seems, is not just a plaything but a prison for souls, a stage for the perpetual performance of a macabre play. Each night, under the cover of darkness, the figures move, their movements echoing the final moments of the Carvers' lives. Each scene is a chilling reminder of the past, a haunting spectacle that sends shivers down the spine. The Millers, caught in the web of this vengeful spirit, are left with a chilling realization. They are not just spectators to these gruesome reenactments, but potential participants. The curse they discover does not differentiate between the old owners and the new. It merely seeks to sustain its cruel cycle of reliving the past. Haunted by the past, the Millers realize they must break the curse or become part of it. The clock is ticking, and the stakes are high. The Millers must find a way to lift the curse before they become the next victims of the dollhouse's gruesome spectacle. The question is, can they break free from the chains of the past, or will they be doomed to repeat it? As the night draws near, the Millers plunge into a frenzy of preparation. The once lively and warm house now echoes with a sense of urgency. The Millers, their faces drawn with fear and determination, scramble to collect the necessary items for the ritual. Old books, filled with the wisdom of the ancients, are strewn across the floor, their pages turned frantically in search of the right incantations. Candles, their flames casting eerie shadows on the walls, are lit and placed in a circle around the dollhouse. Each item, each step carefully chosen, meticulously executed, a testament to their resolve to break the curse. The children, their innocence shattered by the events, help their parents, their small hands steady, their eyes filled with a determination that belies their years. The mother, her heart heavy with fear and hope, recites the incantations, her voice barely a whisper in the chilling silence. The father, his hands trembling, arranges the candles around the dollhouse, each one a beacon of hope in the engulfing darkness. The room fills with an eerie energy, a sense of anticipation that sends shivers down their spines. The dollhouse, once a symbol of joy and family, now stands at the heart of their struggle. Its miniature figures, once innocent playthings, now a chilling reminder of their impending doom. As the clock strikes midnight, the Millers brace themselves for the final confrontation. The stage is set, the players ready. The night, once a time of rest and dreams, is now a battlefield, a stage for their desperate bid for freedom. The air thickens with tension, each tick of the clock a reminder of the battle to come. In the face of the unknown, the Millers stand united, their love and determination their only weapons against the vengeful spirit. Their fate, it seems, hangs in the balance, teetering on the edge of the abyss. The question remains, will they succeed in breaking the curse, or will they become the next victims of the Dollhouse's gruesome spectacle? As the night draws near, only time will tell. On their final night, the Millers decide to confront the curse in a desperate bid to reclaim their lives. They gather, hands trembling but hearts resolute, around the dollhouse that had become the epicenter of their nightmare. A ritual, the only glimmer of hope they have left, is about to begin, an attempt to shatter the chains of the curse binding them. In the still of the night, under the cold, watchful gaze of the dollhouse, they begin. The words of the ritual, ancient and potent, fill the room, clawing at the silence, echoing in their hearts. Each syllable seems to vibrate through the air, resonating with a power that they can't comprehend, but can only hope to control. Suddenly, the dollhouse comes alive. The tiny figures, once innocent playthings, now harbingers of their doom, jerk violently. A miniature world thrown into chaos, mirroring the struggle between the Millers and the vengeful spirit that had made them its playthings. The figures move with a ferocity that belies their size, reenacting the battle unfolding in the room. The father, strong and protective, clashes with the unseen force. The mother, her love a shield, stands firm. The children, their innocence, their strength, fight back with a courage that belies their years. As the night wears on, the struggle intensifies. The air thickens with tension, each moment stretching into an eternity. The Millers, united in their fear and resolve, push back against the darkness, their voices rising in a crescendo, their words a beacon in the engulfing darkness.